Today we're going to learn how to use Adobe InDesign's data merge feature to create multi-page PDFs for label printing using variable data. In this example, we'll be working with text, images, and barcodes. For this example, we're going to start with a design that's already built out in InDesign. There are tools out there if you're working with something like a PDF to convert, or you can use a service like Fiverr or Upwork to find a designer that can recreate the file for you in the InDesign format. Like I said, from this example, we're going to work from a design that we already have laid out in the InDesign program. The first thing we'll need to do is identify the fields in our design that we'll need to change for each label. In this example, we're going to need fields for the SKU number, the product name, barcode, product image, and the brand name. The way this feature works in InDesign is you have to put everything into a main folder. Inside of this folder, I've called Variable Data Tutorial. We have our InDesign document that we're looking at here with the design. We're going to have our data, which we'll explore in a moment, in a CSV format. And then we're going to have subfolders for our two different types of images. One is for the images, for the product images, and the other is for the barcodes. Inside the barcodes subfolder, we'll find 5 different SVG files, each consistently named for the SKU number of the product we're looking to build out. If we go back and look into our images, we'll see each consistently named image file, one for each type of product that we're looking to build out. Let's take a look at the data we're going to use to manipulate this design. You can see there's a header for each of the fields we're looking to change. SKU, product name, brand name, image, which is a path to the images we just looked at inside of our main folder, barcode, which is also a path to the images that we're using for our barcodes, and that's it. So in order to let InDesign know that this is an image path, we're going to have to put an @ sign at the beginning of the data. If we just go ahead and try to add an @ sign, we'll get an error that the function isn't valid, which is fine. All we have to do is precede that with an apostrophe. The apostrophe will allow us to put whatever we want in here and avoid that error. You can see the @ sign is now at the beginning of that heading. Do the same thing for barcodes because it's another sort of image. Add that. And now we're going to save our file. If you're coming from an Excel format, you're going to want to save as a CSV. There's one thing to show that's important to keep in mind. Use this comma separated values selection instead of the common format CSV option. The other one won't work. This will give you the CSV file that you need. So we'll go ahead and save it and replace the existing file. Let's go back over to InDesign and put this to work. We're back in InDesign with our design open. We're going to need to open up the data merge panel. We'll find that under Window, Utilities, Data Merge. That will open up this panel, which will allow us to interact with our variable data file. There's some basic instructions right here in the panel. What we're going to do is follow those. So choose the select data source. We're going to open up the data source we have, which is our CSV file. Hit open. Go ahead and hit OK. And now you can see we have different types of variable data coming from our file. We have text for the SKU, the product name, and the brand name. And as we discussed earlier with our preceding @ symbols, InDesign now knows that we have image files in our images and our barcode columns. The first thing we're going to do is take our SKU. We're going to select the text we want to replace and drag and drop the SKU right on top of it. You can see this placeholder right here showing you that it's referring to the data in the CSV with these double caret signs. We'll go ahead and do that with the product name as well. As well as the brand name. We'll click onto the image and drag our image on top of that. and we'll drag our barcode to the barcode. Now that I've connected the data to the design, we can select Preview to see what some of the example data would show in our design if populated. Now when I select this here, we'll see an error. That's going to tell us that the references to the images are incorrect. That's okay. What we can do is we can go back over to our data and fix that and see if we can get a better result. So within here, I think the issue is that we're looking within an images folder, so we're going to need to proceed with a slash. I'll go ahead and fix all that and bring it back into InDesign. We've made that correction in our data source. We're going to have to come back to the data merge panel in InDesign and select Update Data Source so that the changes will take effect. Now, when we select Preview, we won't get an error and we'll see the images and the barcodes coming through. If I page through, I can kind of get a preview of what each variation of my design will look like. And that's how you create the merge document. Now let's talk about how to export the PDF. Assuming everything looks good in your preview, you can come back up to this, drop it down, and create Merge Document. We're going to select OK. It's going to go through and create a merge document, telling us that there's no overset text, which means all text was contained within the text boxes. Now if we take a look at our pages, you can see we have one page for each of our PDF variations. All that's left to do is go File, Export, name the file. I'm going to call it Merged, and I will save it in my variable data folder as a PDF. Select my PDF export presets. I'm just going to go ahead and keep the default. And then when we go to the folder, we will see our PDF. Open that up and inspect all the pages and variations that were built according to our variable data CSV and files. I hope this was helpful to show how you can use InDesign to create a merged PDF using variable data.